Hi everyone, I am your love teacher and today I am going to discuss on the topic Union and its territory. Part 1 of Indian Constitution is titled The Union and its Territory. It includes articles from 1 to 4. Part 1 is a collection of laws pertaining to the Constitution of India as a country and the Union of States that is made of. This part of the Constitution contains the law in the establishment, renaming, merging or altering the borders of the states. Article 1 describes India as a union of states. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said that the Indian Federation was a union because it was inseparable and no state had a right to separate from the Indian Union. The country is one integral unit beside the fact it consists of different states for the convenience of administration. The phrases Union of India and Territory of India has to be differentiated. The Union of India includes only the states enjoying the status of being members of the federal system and sharing powers with the Union. The Territory of India includes not only the states but also the Union Territory and such other territories as may be acquired by India in future. Article 1. Name and Territory of the Union. Article 1 Clause 1 states that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Article 1 Clause 2 states that the states and the territories will be specified in the first schedule. The concept of union territory was not in the original version of the Constitution but was added by the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1956. Article 1 Clause 3 states that the territory of India will comprise the following: the territory of the states, the union territories mentioned in the first schedule, and such other territories as may be acquired. Union territory. A union territory is a type of administrative division in the Republic of India. Unlike states which have their own elected government, union territories are ruled directly by the central or union government, hence the name Union Territory. Article 240 Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution confers the supreme power to the Parliament of India in regulating the affairs of all union territories. In the Constitution, wherever it refers to territories of India, it is applicable to whole country including Union Territory. Where it refers to only India, it is applicable to all states only but not to Union Territory. Article 2 deals with the admission or establishment of new states. That means Parliament's power. Parliament may by law admit into the Union or establish new states on such terms and conditions as it thinks fit. Here comes two important words: admission and establishment. Article 3 deals with formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states. Here, Parliament may by law form a new state by separation of territory from any state, or by uniting two or more states or part of states, or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. Second one, increase the area of any state. Third, diminish the area of any state. Fourth one, Parliament can alter the boundaries of any state. And fifth one is alter the name of any state. Article 4 deals with laws made under Articles 2 and 3 to provide for the amendment of the first and the fourth schedules and supplemental, incidental and consequential matters. Here first schedule contains names of the states and their territorial jurisdictions, and fourth schedule includes provisions related to the allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha. So when we are discussing union and its territories, a very important case we need to go through. It is in Re Barbary Union and Exchange of Enclaves, AR 1960, SC 845. The facts of the case are like this. At the time of partition of India and Pakistan, the task of demarcation of boundaries was assigned to Sir Ratcliffe. It was decided that task of demarcation shall be assigned to a person who does not know about geography of India and never visited it. This was to ensure no bias while demarcation. Here he distributed thanas between India and Pakistan, and the boundaries of such thanas would going to be the ultimate boundary between India and Pakistan. There was this particular Thana Berbari in Jalpaiguri district of West Bengal. Radcliffe awarded it to India, but unfortunately it was not mentioned in the written text of the award. This gave an opportunity to Pakistan to claim on Berbari, citing a reason that Berbari falls in the map of Pakistan. This dispute continued till Nehru-Noon Agreement was signed in 1958 between India and Pakistan. Here why this Nehru-Noon Agreement, because Firoz Shah Noon was then Prime Minister of Pakistan and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our Indian Prime Minister. In the agreement, the territory of Berbari Union was divided and distributed equally between India and Pakistan. Actually, it was against the wishes of West Bengal government. After criticism, Union government decided to refer matter to the Supreme Court. That's why this case is named as Re-Berbari Union. That means it's a reference. In this case, Supreme Court said that Article 3 Clause C give Parliament a power to diminish state territory but does not give power to cede. Mere exercising power under Article 3 is not sufficient. Parliament has to bring an amendment to the Constitution using power and procedure mentioned in Article 368. Here what we need to note that amendment using Article 3 can be done by an ordinary majority in the Parliament, but under Article 368 special majority is required. So ninth constitutional amendment was enacted to give effect to the agreement. By this, today's class came to an end. See you in the next class. Thank you.